players. Well, for Joseph Pesere, he wasn't impressed despite the victory playing against a 10-man Mozambique. My name is OLADAPO. Couldn't be you. Welcome to Kickoff Sports Show. That's the first half of AM Update. Well, it is Solutions 939 FM. Check the time right now. It is 9:01. We look at stories making rounds the world of sports. We look at tennis. Look at basketball. This morning, talk the NPFL. Talk Super Eagles. Talk updates coming from different national teams this morning from Europe to South America. Remember, you can watch us live from anywhere across the globe. Jump on our Facebook and YouTube channel, Solutions 939 FM. Click like, share, subscribe buttons. Okay, now let's go straight to tennis here, where Jonathan Thompson upset 9th ranked Alexander Zverev 6-3, 6-4 in the opening round of the Japan Open on Monday for his second win over a top 10 opponent this season. The 29-year-old Australian saved 4 of the 5 break points he faced to claim his first career win over Zverev after losing their only previous meetings since 6 years ago. He also defeated 7th ranked Stefanos Tsitsipas at Indian Wells in March. Well, for Thompson, he will next play either Shanghai Masters semi-finalist Ben Shelton or qualifier Taro Daniel. But now let's look at what is happening this morning from that angle at the Japan Open Tokyo ATP 500. Alex de Minaur is through, Christian Garin through, Alex Poprin is through, Taylor Fritz is through, while Diego Schwartzman also booked his place to the next round of the tournament, beating Francisco Cameron Jolo 6-4, 6-1. Live update this morning has Taro Daniel taking on Ben Shelton. Daniel won the first set 6-3 and is currently down in the second set, but the second set just started. Yes. But for other games scheduled for today, in the next 7 minutes, Shintaro Mokizuki will take on Themis Eshavari, while Yosuke Watanuki will be up against Casper Ruud. Aslan Karatsev by 11:30 will be up against Francis Taifo. Remember, we also have the European Open in Antwerp, where Stefanos Tsitsipas will team up with Petro Tsitsipas against David Vega Hernandez and Miguel Angel Reyes in the doubles of the event. It's an ATP 250 tournament. And for other games scheduled for today, same 11:30, Roberto Cabela's Biena will take on Giovanni Mercier as Benjamin Bonzi will be up against Alexandra Shevchenko. Fabian Marozan will take on Juan Pablo Varillas as we have Richard Gasquet taking on Maximilian Matera. Alexander Bock will be up against Yannick Hoffman by 6 o'clock, and 7:30 last game of the day. We'll see Luca Nardi against Dominic Thiem. We've got updates from Stockholm Open. Games are going down today, same as Jasmine Open in Tunisia, Africa. Let's come back home. Let's talk Africa. Well, talking about tournaments going down in Africa, Jasmine Open in Tunisia, WTA 250. Katrina Zavatska will be up against Jessica Boza Moniero by 10:30 this morning as Christina Kukova battles Luzia Bronzetti. Alexandra Ayla will be up against Elisa Mertens as Aliona Bolsova will take on Mai Hontama. Clara Liu against Emina Bektires. Erika Andreeva will be in action against Daja Semenija by 1:30 this afternoon. Last game of the day, we'll see Lesa Tosenko against Chloe Paquette. Moving away from tennis this morning, let's talk basketball as we have an update talking about the preseason of the NBA. 9:05 is the time where let's look at updates here. Maccabi Ranana lost 89 to 120 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA preseason game decided in the wee hours of today as Indiana Pacers paced through, beating Atlanta Hawks 116 to 112 points. Brooklyn Nets lost 119 to 127 points against Philadelphia 76ers as San Antonio Spurs lost 89 to 99 points against Houston Rockets. Utah Jazz defeated New Zealand Breakers 114 to 94 points. Portland Trail Blazers lost 106 to 117 points against Phoenix Suns. away from that. And well, let's look at an update where Manhattan prosecutors have dropped one of the assault charges against Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr., acknowledging Monday during Porter's hearing in Manhattan criminal court that he did not fracture his girlfriend's neck during an alleged attack at a New York City hotel last month. Now, moving away from that, let's go straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. Well, for Super Eagles of Nigeria, did what they could do, to get that needed win. It was a record and moral booster for the team coming from the Nigeria Football Federation.
No. What I know, from the east to the west, now we dey carry first. From the north to the south, go reach the south. You go see say we get mouth, cause we know they carry last. Nigeria know they carry last. We dey ball like Okocha, or Aziza to Shola, Agba Bola, and we fit carry shoulder, cause we know they carry last. Oh no, we don't fit carry last. So raise your hand wherever you are, 2 fingers for me if you love Nigeria. We going higher till we reach that top, one thing is sure, Nigeria know they carry last.
Okay, check the time right now. It is 9:08. Not the scoreline that went down yesterday, but a scoreline that also made Nigerians believe that, yes, we can do it again, most especially getting to the continent and going to claim the 4th AFCON. But hey, let's start with the reaction of Joseph Peserio, who has expressed his displeasure with the performance of the Super Eagles despite their 3-2 victory over 10-man Mozambique in Portugal on Monday evening. The Eagles came from a goal down to beat Mozambique thanks to goals from Terry Murphy, Frank Onyeka, and Moses Seaman. But Mozambique played most part of the game with 10 men after one of their players was sent off in the first half. Despite having a player sent off, Mozambique still managed to pull a goal back to make it 3-2. Well, remember, the Eagles came into the Monday's game on the back of a 2-2 draw with Saudi Arabia on Friday. But for Joseph Peserio, it felt like there could have been more goals scored by Super Eagles of Nigeria and utilizing most of their opportunities.
In the second half, you manage the ball, you do well, but you need to concentrate for good finishing, good pass, good cross, good reception for score. We have 3 or 4 or 5 players along the goalkeeper. It is very bad reception. I think is my players, my team was thinking that is easy, 3-1 against 10, everything is done. I didn't like. Like last time, I said it suffered 2 goals against any team is not good. Is not good, and suffer 2 goals is not good. For that, okay, you play better than this result because you create 10, 11, 12, 14, shoots and the players against goalkeeper. Okay, is many opportunity. For that, I'm not happy. I cannot be happy. Today, you need to score 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You create many opportunity until you do the first goal, the second goal, you create opportunity in the second half also. Even you can manage the ball well and for the side better. No good cross, no good the finishing. Our corners, nothing. He didn't do one corner for winning the ball. He didn't win the ball on ball in the corner. One the ball in the corner. Of course, I'm sad. I am happy because you won. But in this moment, you need to. My players understand. I am not happy with this result or this result.
Yes, he wasn't happy. Well, you have to be truthful and, tell the fact. Now, well, remember, 2 key players were missing in that game yesterday. Victor Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho. Now, let's go about Victor Osimhen this morning because this man will be missing key games for Napoli after, cupping injury in Super Eagles game against Saudi Arabia. Reports has it that Victor Osimhen is a major doubt of Super Eagles next month's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against the Crocodiles of Lesotho and Warriors of Zimbabwe. Osimhen linked after the Super Eagles 2-2 draw against Saudi Arabia last weekend. The 24-year-old returned to Napoli on Saturday for medical examinations. Now, according to a statement from Napoli's website, confirmed that the striker suffered a medium-grade lesion of the biceps femoris in his right thigh. So, it's expected that Osimhen will be ruled out of at least 3 of Napoli's next matches. However, reports in Italy have noted that the usual recovery time for this sort of injury is typically around 4 to 6 weeks. So we wish him quick recovery. Now let's recover this morning and look at games scheduled for today. But let's quickly take a rundown of friendly games decided yesterday. Egypt, Algeria settled for the 1-0 draw. Eswatini lost 1-2 against Botswana. China defeated Uzbekistan 1-2. China lost 1-2 against Uzbekistan, I beg your pardon. And for Cameroon, lost against African champion Senegal by a lone goal. Okay, now let's go ahead this morning. We're getting reports about the game where Belgium, that game was suspended. Belgium, Sweden's Euro 2024 qualifiers was suspended at halftime after 2 people were shot dead in Brussels before the game. And, reports we are having, based on the updates we're getting this morning, is that man suspected of killing 2 people before abandoned Euro 2024 qualifiers has been arrested. Now, the suspect was shot by police, and the weapon believed to have been used by the man has been recovered, according to multiple reports. Belgian Interior Minister Annelies Verlieden will confirm this morning. The match was abandoned at halftime by UEFA after the incident, which has been described as Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo as a brutal terrorist attack. Well, that's the updates coming from that end this morning. Now, let's talk about games going down today across Europe. Remember, before talking about what is going down across Europe, remember Liberia will take on Morocco in Group K of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Now, let's talk about the Euro 2024 games scheduled for today. In Group C, England will take on Italy. Remember, Jordan Henderson was booed in their last game, but hey, one man is backing his teammate. It's called Kai Walker. Was saying Henderson is a great guy and he needed support.
It's not nice to hear. I've known Jordan since probably the age of 9 when we was playing against Sheffield United v Sunderland, so to see what he's done for the country for so many years, and what he does for around the team as well, as we know him, it's a family in there, and we spend, as we have done, a week together in a hotel, and he's a big part of the togetherness and keeping the group, together, and making sure that everyone feels welcome when, new players come in or people step in. So to hear that, it's not nice to hear, but people are entitled to their opinions. But I fully back Jordan and his decision on what he's had to do.
Maybe some say because this man moved to the Saudi Pro League from Liverpool on a 3-year deal in July. Okay, so let's look at all the games scheduled for today. Malta will be up against Ukraine in that same Group C, and in Group G, Lithuania will take on Hungary as Serbia battles Montenegro. In Group H, Finland will be up against Kazakhstan as Northern Ireland will battle Slovenia. Denmark will lock hands with San Marino. In Common Ball, games scheduled for today, Venezuela will battle Chile by 10 o'clock. By 11:30, Paraguay will be up against Bolivia. In the Asian qualification for World Cup, Singapore, won their game against Guam 1-0. The live updates this morning is between Mongolia and Afghanistan. The game is in the 58th minute and it is goalless. Friendly matches scheduled for today. Japan will take on Tunisia by 11:10, as South Korea will be up against Vietnam by 12 o'clock. Cape Verde will take on Comoros. Malaysia against Tajikistan. North Macedonia will battle Armenia. DR Congo will take on Angola as Iraq will be up against Jordan. Mali battles Saudi Arabia. Zambia will be up against Uganda. Libya will lay in one side against Niger as Madagascar will be up against Benin Republic. Somalia will be up against Sierra Leone, while Bulgaria battles Albania. Well, we'll have to drop it here as we move to the other side of the show and we'll look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Shout out to Awal Bukhari, Shade Busirat, Sanfika Kim, Imafo J. Peters. My name is OLADAPO Okunubi. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Are you a dedicated farmer involved in cultivation or livestock farming? Then we've got exciting news for you. Introducing Farm Link Up, your gateway to start selling your farm products faster and say goodbyes to spoiled farm produce. Farm Link Up is the largest online market platform for farmers in Africa and globally. Not only that, it connects buyers to fresh farm products at very affordable prices, and farmers can now sell their products faster. If you are a farmer that has in stock of essential equipment, crops, fertilizers, pesticides, and livestock, Farm Link Up is your one-stop solution. Simply register at farmlinkup.com and start to post your products on the platform for free on farmlinkup.com, as buyers are already waiting for you. For more inquiries, simply call 0901 234 5555 or visit farmlinkup.com directly to unlock the boundless opportunities in the world of agriculture. Farmlinkup.com, connecting farmers to the consumers and the world at large.
Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli! He's back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stands, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism but corruption.
The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to?
You offend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is OLADAPO Okunubi.
My name is Victory Richard.
My name is Adedamola Lafenwa.
And my name is Favor Oloruntola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
One day, na so bag with plenty money just appear for inside one Olanrewaju compound. 2 seconds, everywhere boss.
Let me get a bag. May nobody see my radar.
Hey.
Let me face him. We cannot see you now.
Say waiting. As the landlord of this yard, so let me be the rightful owner of that
bag. Oga landlord, what could not find your size? We dive here.
Have they come on see? Come on, you won't collect.
Now who come get this bag? Now for the new series, Akpo, we go know.
Follow the Yawa way buster. Take off this bag where money full. On top the new Africa Magic Show, Akpo. Come see the long throat and Kasala way scatter ground. From 18 September, every Monday and Tuesday by 6:30 for evening. On Top Africa Magic, Yoruba Channel 2. Go TV. Love it.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Monday or Tuesday morning, right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Welcome to From the Dailies, where we take a tour on the different stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria. My name is Victory Richard.
Well, OLADAPO Kulumbi is my name, and back. Remember, I told you not to go anywhere. So this morning, we'll look at headlines from different pages of Nigerian newspapers, as we also have our analyst who joins us virtually this morning. Well, looking at Punch, look at The Nation, we have the Vanguard, same as Nigerian Tribune. Well, so many reactions also concerning borrowing this morning. Looking at the budget, and one man is saying that 5 senators will be out of the National Assembly. Who are these senators? And who's this senator speaking? Well, he was also saying that there's a witch hunt against him. We look at this and more this morning.
All right, be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939. So do well to jump in on the platform and react to stories, because shortly we'll be taking your messages. I'll be taking stories from the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper.
Like I told you, The Nation, Punch, newspapers are here. Let's go straight.
Alright, this morning, let's start off with the Vanguard newspaper, beginning with this story. Bonny Light price lifts to $92.24 per barrel on positive forecast. PDP crisis. Wike queries AGBOT chairman Wabara. Southern Kaduna, how 14 persons were killed, 31 kidnapped. Federal government proposes 26.01 trillion naira for 2024 appropriation. And now to the biggest story in the Vanguard newspaper. PDP LP fire federal government as cost of food drives to 26.7%. Presidency APC lips mum. MBS reports on soaring food prices. Verdict on Tinubu's role. Nigerians now spend income on food, yet not enough, Obi. These are the writers to that story. Adamawa not. Abo attacks Akpabio over appeal court sack. Women Affairs Minister to sue UN over management of donor funds. I saw that video yesterday. It was quite an interesting watch, if you ask me. More stories from the Vanguard this morning. Let's talk sports. Super Eagles beat 10-man Mambas 3-2. Interesting. There's a lot of conversation with our goalkeeper.
Okay. But the funny thing is we have a lot of goalkeepers out there, which Joseph Pesero could have used. I mean, this is friendly game. Just try and use these guys. We have the World Cup qualifiers coming up in the next few weeks, same as the Africa Cup of Nations in January. So at least with that, you should be able to get your preferred first 11 and your bench, backup goalkeepers. But
the stakes are high, so I think he should really do something, Jose Pesero, because Nigerians do not believe that he has the capacity to hold that post.
Most times when he's getting the results, nobody will say that he does not have what it takes to hold on to that position. But when results are not coming, the manager gets the bashing. In UK, it's called the manager, but here in Nigeria, it says the chief coach, the technical advisor, and the likes. But let's put that aside. But they always believe, and at the end of the day, you see Nigerians come out. Let us hire homegrown coach. At the end of the day, when the homegrown coach fails, they'll say, okay, we need a foreign-based coach. But there's nothing you will do that Nigerians will be happy about. Let's move on this morning.
Israeli threat on ground invasion doesn't scare us. Hamas is speaking there. And now to strike, federal government okays implementation of 30 days MOU with Labour. These are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard.
Going to Punch newspaper this morning, starting from the COP. FG gets over $1.5 billion fresh World Bank AFDB loans December. Edun. You can see the picture of the minister there. Subsidy removal. Naira 4 push food inflation to 30.64%. And to the banner headline this morning from the Punch newspaper. 2024, FG plans a 26 trillion naira budget. Debt servicing to go up 8.25 trillion naira. So if the debt servicing to go up 8.25 trillion naira, that means that we should be looking at the angle of let's say that we are spending around 8 trillion or less than 8 trillion naira for 2024. Riders to this headline says personnel debt service cost to go up 62% of 26 trillion naira. Government plans 700 naira per dollar. FG OK's 2024-2026 MTEF. Tinubu to present signed budget before December 31. Not a good story about pensioners. I look at the front page of the Punch this morning. 20 Osun pensioners suffer exhaustion amid rowdy verification. Palliatives. Nigerians condemn poor ration. Lambast government or governors. I take the headline again. Palliatives. Nigerians condemn poor ration. Lambast governors. Third mainland bridge now a death trap. Motorist lament. Akpabio behind my removal from Senate. Abo alleges. Let's go straight to the next headline this morning or the newspaper.
The Nigerian Tribune is the paper that is up next, rather. Nigeria's inflation rate rises to 26.72% as food prices soar. Federal government projects 26 trillion naira for 2024 budget. Building on drainage channels, Lagos government rules out compensation for owners. And now to the biggest story on the Tribune paper. Resume or resign. Ondo PDP youths tells Akeredolu riders to that. Give him 72-hour ultimatum. Vow to sustain protest. Court to hear Akeredolu Aida Tiwa's application on October the 30th. NIPOS and its staffers shut down head office in protest against new CEO. We saw that video as well yesterday. It was making the rounds on Twitter. Kogi West elders endorses Abejide as consensus governorship candidate. IPCC chairman cannot come from same zone. Falliner. Federal government begins destruction of $1.2 million worth of pangolin scales. Akpabio instigated my sack. Senator Abel alleges. These are the stories on the front page of the Tribune paper.
Okay, so we'll listen to our boy this morning. But let's look at other headlines. Going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning. Umahi Ogun cleared to fix toll Abeokuta Ota Road. Kogi West elders endorse ADC candidate Abejide. Ayedatiwa loses bid to stall impeachment. Court fixes October 30 for suit. I'm in charge. Akeredolu tells protesting PDP chieftains. And you can see the front page picture from. We have two front page pictures on the Nation newspaper this morning. One was the swearing in of the new ministers, 3 ministers, and we have one from Ekiti State. But the banner headline from the Nation newspaper this morning says, Federal government proposes 26 trillion naira appropriation for next year. Riders, lawmakers to get supplementary budget. FEC endorses $1.5 billion World Bank loan. $18 million for Ekiti Knowledge Zone. And last headline this morning. Empower beneficiaries to get pay backlog from next month. Maybe a good news, you can say. But now let's start the burning issue this morning with what we are getting from the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, about Nigerian workers getting extra 35,000 naira, which starts in October.
Ministry for Labour and Employment, and that memo was precisely on the arrangement of the basically on the agreements between government and labor. You are already aware of all the about 15 or 14 items as part of the agreements. But we went beyond mere agreements to tell them that something different this time is happening. Because one part of the agreement was to file it in a court of law, which we have set the process already, and the other one was the presidential approval. There cannot be any presidential approval more than the Federal Executive Council. So we presented them to the Federal Executive Council. We analyzed on each and every aspect of the agreement, and to show the genuineness and also the provide for harmonious and a good industrial relationship. And that was why it was presented and it was approved for implementation. The initial yes was agreed that within 30 days, we agreed for 30 days. And so within 30 days, there must be evidence of implementation. I think that was the basis for presenting it to the Federal Executive Council, and the Federal Executive Council also approved that within these 30 days, we'll go on implementation of the agreement between labor and government.
Well, Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, speaking there yesterday during the Federal Executive Council meeting. And let's wait and see if this is not just a mere statement. But now let's go straight to what happened at the National Assembly yesterday. Senator Abo, his name is all over Nigerian newspapers this morning, and he came out to say that there was a witch hunt against him by the Senate President, and 5 senators will be sent packing. Why? How? Given reasons here.
The Court of Appeal surprisingly came up on Thursday. The hearing of the Court of Appeal took place on Thursday. I want to repeat, hearing took place on Thursday. By Friday, they said the judgment was ready and it will be delivered on Monday. We went in there today and we were so shocked that the ground which was withdrawn by my opponent at the tribunal level was not even pleaded in the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal used what was not pleaded. It was funny. The Court of Appeal relied on the matter that was withdrawn, on the ground that was withdrawn, and based on it, that my certificate of tone should be withdrawn. I am being actually bewitched by government because of my critical stand on national issues. That is the truth. It is obvious. I heard it from reliable source, which I will not call the name now, that 5 senators will be removed from the Senate. Those who did not stand with my brother and my elder brother, my good colleague, distinguished Senate President Akpabio. Those who did not vote for him, 5 of us are going. I am number 1. Ojus Okalu will go. They have penciled 5 of us, and few others are going because we did not support the emergence of my brother and my colleague, Senator Akpabio, from emerging the President of the Senate. This is not democracy. The court, we have hope in the court. The court should be careful. Let us build the country. International community are watching us.
Okay, so you just heard this that suspended or former Senator Abo, who spoke yesterday after was sent packing by the court, but say that the Senate President was behind his loss. But comrade, Ayode Jadishoko is here. Let us make sense of this morning. Comrade, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. If you look at the front page of Nigerian newspapers this morning, Punch, Tribune, Vanguard, The Nation, it is more of Senator Abo. And saying 5 senators to go because they did not support the emergence of the Senate President. But let us look at where his problem is coming from. Is it from the National Assembly or from his constituency?
I don't understand us in this country, especially the political gladiators. When judgments go their way, it is a victory for democracy. When they lose in the court, justice, it is called the travesty of justice. It is called witch hunting. It is called all sorts of names. Look, there are rules of engagement. Somebody went to court. Yes, we have seen things that do not look like justice, you understand? They are judgments. They play according to the rules of the court, you understand? Like in the case of Machina and even the sitting president of the Senate. In fact, his own case is even fair. Another primaries was conducted. In the case of Machina, people are saying, senior lawyers are saying they disagree Supreme Court judgment, you know, applying some frivolous rules. But by and large, you will recall that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, when he was swearing some justices recently, said that they are not going to be bowing to public opinion. You understand? Public opinion is quite different from legal opinion. I heard Senator Abba say grants that were not pleaded, you know, were deployed in. Look, there is a National Judicial Council, and let them go to the National Judicial Council. If any judge or judges do that, grants that are not pleaded was now used, you know, to as a pillar on which the judgment rests. He said it had been withdrawn earlier at the tribunal level. Let them proceed to the National Judicial Council and petition the National Judicial Council. There are always, you know, avenues. The Court of Appeal is not the last resort. Of course, senatorial elections do not go to the Supreme Court. I don't think they do. National Assembly, they don't go to the Supreme Court. Only governorship and presidential goes to the Supreme Court. That in itself should stop. The Supreme Court is for constitutional matters. It is not for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But be that as it may, there are other platforms to ventilate their grievances. Yes, he might have lost in the court that election, but the National Judicial Council is there. Let them petition. Any judge that engages in hanky-panky, as they call it, grants that have been withdrawn, grants that are not pleaded, and you use that as a pillar of judgment, let them petition the National Judicial Council. There is always ground for ventilating grievances in a lawful manner rather than self-help. And 5 of us have been pinned down because we did not vote for Senator Fabio. I mean, these people should be mature. People should be mature. That's the hallowed the chambers of our Senate, and people are pleading because we didn't support government. Come on. I mean, let's have more maturity.
I'm just really worried with his statement. Is that not an indictment on the integrity of the court? Because the judgment wasn't passed by Senator Akpabio. It was passed by the court.
You see, the courts are not, unfortunately, and very good enough, the courts are not in a position to engage. You understand? And that's very replying. Maybe the tribunal will write a rejoinder and all of that. They are not. That's not the training of the court. You know, that's not the function of the court. Anybody that has any issue, if there's a higher court to which you can appeal, go ahead. And if you think you lost to hanky-panky, there is a disciplinary committee in the National Judicial Council to which you can report those judges. We have seen punitive actions taken against judges in this country. You understand? So it's as simple as that. People should not mess up this and saying because we did not vote for Joe Akpabio. So Akpabio, no, come on, let's get some maturity. That's the hallowed chambers of our Senate. It's not for boys, it's for big guys.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, now, so let us look at, we've been talking about Nigeria's economy for the past few days. And if you look at the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, look at the cap headline at the front page. Yes, the front page of The Nation, the banner headline as well, from Tribune and Vanguard. It is more of the 2024 budget. Saying that 2024, FG plans 26 trillion naira budget. Debt servicing to gulp 8.25 trillion naira. And look at the CAP headline from the Punch that says FG gets over $1.5 billion fresh World Bank AFDB loans in December. If Nigeria is, setting up their budget for 2024, which is also to be by December, even before December 31st, Mr. President, we surely sign this. How do we balance? How do we make sure that the budget, Nigerians benefit and we are not over servicing debt? Remember, we are getting World Bank, African Development Bank loans as well. How do we make sure that while paying back the loan, Nigerians don't groan?
I think the important thing is when you take a loan, to what end? Is it for consumption? Is it for production? Let's take a family, for instance, you take $1 million loan. What do you want to use it for? Okay, you want to buy property. You want to buy a piece or two of land that in another 6 months, you understand, it will appreciate in value. The value has to be, appreciation has to be higher than the interest or recovery rate. That World Bank AFDB loan, it's zero interest from the reports that I have. It's zero interest, but it is a loan you have to repay. Even if it has a moratorium of whatever number of years, it doesn't matter, you're going to repay. Now, what is it going to be used for? Is it for production or is it for consumption? That is the important thing. To what end is the loan go into? That is what is important. 26 trillion naira budget. Good. Those are propositions. You understand? A budget is a proposition. This is what I intend to do. The important, what is the performance of the 2023 budget? We don't have that. We don't have the figures of performance. In other states, Ajimobi, God bless is so used to put out the performance of each of the budget per quarter. It is not what you put on paper, it is the performance. And we budgeted 1 trillion for this. How much was released? You understand? Especially capital projects. Recurrent, yes, you may not perform recurrent fully, but capital projects. What is the percentage of capital projects in that 26 trillion? What is and to what projects, to what specific projects are those capital, what are they targeted at? You understand? So that is the important component part of budgeting. You do a budget of 26 trillion, it does not perform 60%. I mean, that is not good enough. So it is not what you budget, it is the performance. And, of course, the component part of overhead, which is recurrent, and capital projects. And what kind of capital projects? I've had the president talk about Ajaokuta. We talk about industrialization. We talk about development. We talk about growth. There is no power. There is no functional petrochemical industry. There is no, steel is critical to an industrial revolution. We don't have those fundamentals. We're not serious about development if we don't have those. You know how critical power is. Today, power constitutes not less than 30% of input of cost of production in any industry in Nigeria. In some, it is higher than that. So these are the things that should be targeted in policy and budget provision.
Okay. All right. Comrade, let's go on a break, and when we return, we'll go straight to the next, headline this morning before we wrap up the show. Please just hold on a second.
One day, na so bag with plenty money just appear for inside one Olanrewaju compound. 2 seconds, everywhere boss.
Let me get a bag. May nobody see my radar.
Hey.
Let me face him. We cannot see you now.
You say waiting. As the landlord of this yard, so me be the rightful owner of that bag.
Oga landlord, what Make you no find your size. We die here.
Have come on, see. Come on, you won't collect.
Now who come get this bag? Now for the new series, Akpo, we go know.
Follow the Yawa way buster. Take off this bag where money full. On top the new Africa Magic Show, Akpo. Come see the long throat and Kasala way scatter ground. From 18th September, every Monday and Tuesday by 6:30 for evening. On top Africa Magic, Yoruba Channel 2. Go TV. Love it.
939 is the dial. Keep it 93.9.
All right, welcome back. You're still listening to From the Dailies right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Of course, we're looking through the papers this morning, and our analyst is joining us virtually for analysis. Comrade, I believe we still have you joined with us.
Yes, I'm still very much here.
Thank you. All right, let's move to Ondo State. Now, the governance in Ondo State has been shaky for several months. We've seen stories of, even the House not coming for FEC meeting when being called by the deputy governor. Now, there's a big story on the paper suggesting that the PDP youths are giving an ultimatum to the governor, Akeredolu, to resume or resign in 3 days. Now, it's been 4 weeks since he returned from Germany for his medical leave, and he has yet to make an appearance in Ondo State. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He understands the constitution. What do you think it's playing out here? We've also heard stories of his wife, his son. There's just a lot going on in Ondo State as it is.
Yes, there's when you raise that story, a lot of things race through my mind. I remember Yaradua. And I remember the former governor of Taraba, who was involved in an air crash, you understand, a light plane that he was piloting. And the way we drag society along with ourselves. You remember very clearly the Yaradua scenario. Nobody prays to be ill. Nobody prays for anyone to be ill. But when anyone is challenged, believe you me, isn't it divisive? The family is battling that man's ill health. And I understand specifically the kind of ill health challenge that Akeredolu has. There are two variations of the blood cancer.
Hello, comrade, are you there?
It takes a process of recuperation. Of course, if whatever was done to him in Germany, maybe bone marrow transplant and all of that, believe you me, it is challenging for you to be in the process of recuperation and battling, issue of governance. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why you have to hang on to power like that. What is it? After all, that 8 years will end. You want to put somebody that is your party in government, you're not functional. And of course, let me tell you, even if the man wants to resign, there are people who will not allow him to resign. Because the man is incapacitated to a large extent, people, the ones they call harvesters of ruin, the hawks around him, they will be going around. His Excellency said, or the one they call Baba Sokwe in this part of Nigeria. Baba Sokwe, and they will be going around. And since you don't have access to Baba, and you saw what happened when he came back, how the tide changed and all of that. So everybody wants to comply with Baba Sokwe, because they are never sure. You don't even know the status of Baba. Nobody knows. Everything is secretive. And when you're in public space, look, there is nothing secretive about you anymore. You are public property. So you cannot, we don't even know what is wrong with do you know what was wrong with Buhari? Do you have his medical report? Do you have the current president's medical report? Did you ever know what was wrong with Yaradua? Everything was calculated. You are public property when you step into the public arena. But I pray that God will grant Akeredolu sound health, body and mind. But this struggle to stay on in power, it is it more important than his life?
I mean,
is it more important than his well-being? He is under 70. I think it's just about 67 or 68. You understand? Is that more important? He has accomplished. He accomplished well before he became governor. It was his credentials, antecedents, that empowered him to run for that office. That office didn't make Akeredolu. You understand? That office didn't make him. And it's just a little additional. He had accomplished. He had been made. President MBA, senior advocate of Nigeria, very well known in the progressive arena. So what is it?
But comrade, if you look at the Nation newspaper this morning, and if you look at the headline that says "I'm in charge," Akeredolu tells protesting PDP, and according to that statement is coming from his CPS Richard Olatunde. Now the question here is, if the governor decides to step down, his deputy will surely be sworn in as the governor. But is it because of the crisis that is on ground, I mean, the Akeredolu versus Ayedatiwa, that is making the governor, to decide not to step down for now?
It is not a Nigerian thing. He will not step down. It is not our thing in this part of the world. He will not step down. And you see, they are best of friends. He was grooming him to succeed him. But you see, when you listen to tales from, he said this, he said that, and of course there will be no channel for verification. Even if there is verification, you see, tales. And of course, one thing that I heard about the deputy governor is that he bought himself, he approved for himself a bulletproof SUV, maybe 200 or something million naira or something like that. When you are a deputy governor, you have to be circumspect. In Yoruba land, they say there is only one calabash. Any other calabash after Igba, there is only one Igba. Any Igba that is Igba Keji is Igba Kigba, is nonsensical calabash. So there is only one calabash. So people, when you accept to be a deputy governor, don't have ambition. Kill it. If you have ambitions, don't take deputy governor. It will land you in trouble. So people should just, it's so sad. I mean, but let me tell you, there must be a little bit of a character flaw. This is the second deputy governor Akeredolu is deploying. You know, he fought the first one to the end of their first tenure. This is the second one. And of course, Tinubu to use three deputy governors in Lagos. I think the second one was impeached a few months to the end of the second term. But aren't we seeing a character flaw in the man that is, it's either a character flaw in choosing, you understand, your deputy. Okay, let's assume that the first one he used was imposed on him because of political arrangement. What about this one? He must have chosen by himself because he was already a sitting governor and nobody could challenge it. So these are things that people should be. And when you're a deputy governor, don't kill the dream unless you are waking up and say, "Come and take it." Don't try it. Okay. The governor will. Okay, look at a non-functional almost. He has been in Ibadan since he came back. And he came back, we are told, because there were threats of impeachment. And the thing was, they dragged the man down here. And, you know, it's something that I know how it incapacitates people. I've seen it happen to someone very, very close. It's not easy to be on that route. But those who are around him, and he himself, are you sure if Akeredolu says he wants to go to Akure now and resign? Are you sure they're going to allow him to go and to resign? No, the harvesters of ruin will not allow it to happen. But God be with them in those days.
Amen.
All right. I mean, looking at our time right now, I've loved us, to continue this conversation. But hey, we have 5 minutes to wrap up. Thank you so much, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, for joining us this morning. I hope you will soon get your own SUV.
Amen, comrade.
not through the National Assembly.
Of course. Of course not.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Comrade Awo,
All right.
Comrade Awo,
Sir.
it is unfair, it is insensitive.
Mm.
You members of the National Assembly, 360 hours of rep, 109 senators, you procure 160 something million estimates for yourself. And after 4 years, it will be of zero value because it is 25% per annum depreciation. And so 165 million will be 0 naira. They will just be dashed, maybe 200,000, and then they go away with it. And if you get re-elected, the next time you get another one. Only God knows when what they're going to award themselves. Because they started with 504 and 406 and moved to Camry. They are now moving to SUV.
When we're clamoring for cutting the cost of governance. Thank you, comrade.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, gentlemen.
All right, God bless Nigeria. God bless you too. Well, look at our time, 9:56. Do we have one or two comments just wrap up right now?
Well, let's just take a few comments this morning.
That should be in 60
as
seconds.
We conclude. All right. Starting off with this. First, Senator Bokachua and now Senator Albo, both members of the ruling APC, alleging that Nigeria's judiciary can be influenced by whoever is interested in doing so. New levels of national embarrassment unveiled each day, and that's coming from MM. Napoleon says, weak excuse, but why would appeal court transfer all senatorial cases to only Lagos and Abuja? Perhaps for easy monetization of the judgment in favor of the establishment and monitoring movement of judges.
Victory, I would love us to just wrap up right now, because coming up right now is Iwaida by the Great Babs. Well, my name is OLADAPO Kunubi. I'll be back tomorrow morning on Kiko Sports Show 9 o'clock to start the AM update.
All right, my name is Victory Richard. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday.